The Mazda Miata has always been the go-to roadster for purists. It's lightweight, nimble, and unapologetically fun. But for 2026, Mazda has taken things to another level. The 2026 Miata blends its legacy charm with modern-day tech and subtle design enhancements, all while keeping its driver-first philosophy intact. If you thought this roadster had peaked, think again. What Mazda has pulled off with the latest Miata is nothing short of a masterstroke, and in this video, we're diving deep into everything that makes this new model a serious contender in the sports car world, even as competitors lean heavily into turbochargers and EV powertrains. Exterior. Right off the bat, the first thing that hits you is the updated front design. While the Miata has never been aggressive in a traditional sports car sense, the 2026 version sharpens its facial features with new LED headlight clusters that look sleeker and more purposeful. The grille is wider and sits lower, giving the car a more planted and assertive look. Mazda's design language, Kodo, or soul of motion, really shines here. The subtle curves, the tight body lines, and the more sculpted hood all work in harmony. It's evolutionary rather than revolutionary, and that's a good thing. The Miata still looks like a Miata, but just more refined, more athletic, and slightly more mature. As you move to the side profile, the proportions remain classic roadster. The long hood, short overhangs, and cabin pushed to the rear scream driving fun. But upon closer inspection, you'll notice more defined creases along the doors, slightly flared wheel arches, and a new set of 17-inch alloy wheels that come in gunmetal or black finish depending on trim. Mazda has slightly lowered the stance and revised the suspension geometry, giving the car a squatter, more aggressive presence even when parked. The soft top remains manually operated, which is totally on brand for the Miata. Simple, lightweight, and effective. But now it's been re-engineered for even quicker folding and improved insulation, reducing cabin noise at highway speeds. From the rear, the changes are more subtle but still meaningful. The taillights are now slimmer and more modern, featuring Mazda's latest LED signature design. The bumper has been reworked to give a more chiseled, sporty appearance. Dual exhaust outlets still sit neatly on either side, but they now emit a slightly throatier sound, thanks to tweaks in the exhaust tuning. There's also a new ducktail-style lip integrated into the trunk lid, adding a little extra visual drama and a touch of aerodynamic benefit. Overall, the rear design ties together the car's sleek silhouette beautifully, reminding everyone that this is still one of the most photogenic sports cars on the road. Interior. Step inside the 2026 Miata and you'll find a familiar but upgraded cabin. The basic layout hasn't changed, and that's intentional. Mazda knows this is a driver's car, so the focus is still on minimal distraction, excellent ergonomics, and tactile controls. The materials, however, have seen a noticeable upgrade. Soft touch surfaces extend farther across the dash, and there are now optional Alcantara inserts on the doors and seats. A new 8.8-inch infotainment screen sits atop the center console, running Mazda's latest operating system with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's quicker, cleaner, and more intuitive than before. The seats, while still snug, have been re-engineered with better bolstering and support for spirited driving. For taller drivers, Mazda has shaved a few millimeters from the seat cushion and steering column area to offer a smidge more legroom and head clearance. It won't turn the Miata into a grand tourer, but it does make daily drives a little more bearable. You also get a new digital analog hybrid gauge cluster, with a central tachometer and configurable side displays showing everything from lap timers to real-time G-force data. And let's not forget about the updated steering wheel, smaller, thicker, and now heated on higher trims. It's the kind of detail that makes a difference when you're carving corners on a chilly morning. Performance. When it comes to performance, Mazda stay true to the Miata's philosophy of less is more. The 2026 model continues with the 2.0-liter naturally aspirated Skyactiv G inline-4 engine, but it's been lightly revised for better throttle response and a few extra bonies. Output now stands at 187 horsepower and 151 pounds-feet of torque. It doesn't sound like much on paper, but considering the car's weight stays below 2,400 pounds, It's plenty. The 0 to 60 time is around 5.9 seconds, but the Miata was never about straight line speed. It's about feel, balance, and connection, and in that department, the 2026 Miata is simply unmatched. The 6-speed manual gearbox remains the star of the show. Mazda has refined the shift action even further up. It's snappy, short, and mechanical in the best way. For those who prefer 2 pedals, the automatic transmission has also been retuned for quicker shifts and better gear logic during spirited driving. Mazda has revised the suspension dampers and reworked the electronic power steering for more precise feedback. The result, a car that dances on its toes, grips in corners, and communicates with the driver like few modern vehicles can. Fuel economy is also commendable for a car in this category. The 2026 Miata manages around 27 miles per gallon in the city and 34 on the highway, making it both fun and frugal. That's not something you can say about many sports cars these days. And thanks to improved chassis rigidity and additional sound deadening, it's a bit more comfortable and quiet during long drives, though it still retains that elemental feel that Miata fans crave. In terms of pricing, the 2026 Miata starts at around $29,000 for the base sport trim. The mid-level club model comes in at about $33,000 and adds performance goodies like Bilstein shocks, a limited slip differential, and front shock tower brace. The range-topping Grand Touring trim pushes the price to about $36,000 but includes all the luxury touch as heated leather seats, Bose premium audio, navigation, and adaptive headlights. If you want the most connected driving experience without sacrificing comfort, the Grand Touring might be the sweet spot. There's also talk of a special edition model dropping later in the year, possibly with unique paint colors, forged wheels, and bespoke interior finishes. Mazda knows how to keep enthusiasts excited. At the end of the day, the 2026 Mazda Miata proves that evolution can be just as powerful as revolution. In a world shifting rapidly toward electric crossovers and bloated performance numbers, the Miata stays grounded. It continues to deliver something that's increasingly rare in the car world: a pure, unfiltered joy. It doesn't try to be something it's not. It doesn't chase horsepower figures or lap records. It just focuses on creating a bond between car and driver, and in doing so, it reminds us all why we fell in love with driving in the first place. So, if you've been waiting for an excuse to get into a Miata or perhaps upgrade from an older generation, this 2026 model might just be your perfect moment. It's smarter, sharper, more refined, but still unmistakably Miata. And that, my friends, is exactly how it should be. Thanks for watching Turbo Trendz TV. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more high-octane content, and tell us in the comments, would you daily a Miata, or is this your weekend toy? Either way, the 2026 Miata continues to be one of the most emotionally satisfying cars you can buy today. See you in the next one.